Hello everybody! Today we are going to a bucket list destination. We are taking the Yankee Freedom Ferry to the Dry Tortugas National Park. But first, let's drive down to Key West, see how the hurricane recovery is going, and explore a little bit. Yes, a brand new Traveling Robert video is coming up next.
I'm riding with my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV.
So I came up with this brilliant, or perhaps not so great idea of putting the trailer camera facing backwards. Since I have shown you this road so many times before in previous videos, don't worry, I have some forward-looking video as well, from the dash camera. This is, of course, US 1, the overseas highway, and we are just descending upon Key Largo, yes, the beginning of the Florida Keys. Here's the Caribbean Club, a big chill, sundowners, some of our favorite spots. But hey, I'm sure you've seen this many times, and if you are new to my channel, let me put a link to my Florida Keys playlist, and I might put an uncut version of this whole trip on Patreon, but here are just the highlights. Crossing into Isla Morada, and as you've seen, visible hurricane damage has been minimal in this area, but that will change soon. Even 2 months after Hurricane Irma, the area coming up next will show signs of heavy damage. There's the Theater of the Sea, what's left of the Tiki Bar. Here, crossing the Whale Harbor Channel into the rest of Isla Morada.
Key West, Key West, Key West, Key West, Key West, Cayo Hueso, Key West, Cayo Hueso, Key West.
See, I told you. A lot of it has been cleaned up pretty nicely, but even 2 months after the storm, there is still a lot of rubble on the side of the road. Anyways, here we are, Boyd's Campground. A waterfront site now in the high season is a whopping $143, plus taxes, etc. It will end up being like $160. Considering we are barely going to be here, I think we should have gone inland, perhaps, but wait till you see it. It is a beautiful sight. Well, here we are, Boyd's Campground, and this place is impeccably located. It's just 1 mile from the entrance of Key West and about 5 miles from Duval Street. And, well, may the festivities begin. And as you can see, you can still see some damage from Hurricane Irma. Yeah, sadly, this is still a very common sight here in the lower Keys. Oh yes, we have a Winnebago Vista next to us, and check it out, the view from our campsite. It's amazing. I'm gonna fly the drone later. It would be cool if I could launch the inflatable boat from here, but I don't think it's allowed. Let's go eat. This is the famous Hogfish restaurant. Yes, this is the Hogfish Bar and Grill, located at a marina very close to the campground. The sandwich, perhaps a little small for the both of us, but we'll have something else later for sure in Key West. Yeah, according to the bartender, the hogfish sandwich was big enough to share, but we could have eaten one each, for sure. It's okay. As I said, we'll have something later in Key West. You're welcome. Anyway, okay, let's go to Key West. It's only 1 mile away. The makeshift welcome sign is still there. You know, the original got blown out by the storm, and as the legend goes, someone found it in Fort Myers. We stayed there many years ago at La Pension.
We're going to Fort Zachary.
Yes, this is a Fort Zachary Taylor State Park. $6 per car plus 50 cents per person. We've never actually been here before, so that's exciting. Here's the 1866 fort with a moat. Had we come earlier here, we could have probably gotten a guided tour, but we've arrived barely half an hour before they closed the fort to the public, so nah.
Yeah, it looks like they're having a wedding here at the fort. Interesting choice of venue, but which is on. Yeah, on second thought, maybe we should have crashed the party instead of, as I said, very interesting choice of venue for a wedding, but I mean, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be sitting at that table. I don't care if the cannon is 200 years old. Oh, and the bride and the groom, there you go. Yeah, this is kind of weird and bizarre, but hey, congratulations, happy marriage. Yeah, these people are waiting for us to leave so they can have their party. Flag is just a tiny bit crooked. You know, they're taking pictures of the bride and the groom.
There's the Key West Lighthouse, where we wanted to go originally, but it closed at 4:30. Instead, here we are, Fort Zachary Taylor.
And I think they're gonna throw us out any minute now because they're gonna have a wedding. Very nice view from up here. Here come all the invitees to the wedding. I think they're tourists. I don't know. It looks like they're gonna have cocktails over there, in that area. I could use a mojito right now. All the tourists seem to be distracted by something here.
Yes, they are mesmerized by the iguana. Ooh, les touristes français.
Okay, this is where the ceremony for the wedding is going to be, apparently. The flower girls are playing in the sand. And let's just crash the party.
In a couple of minutes, we are going to the iconic southernmost point concrete buoy. Although I must point out that this beach is actually located further south, and that peninsula over there, where the dish is at, that's Whitehead Spit, and that's the real southernmost point of the island of Key West. So yeah. Although later we are going to the so-called southernmost point and southernmost beach, or South Beach for short, this is really as close as we can get to Cuba. And I forgot to bring my bathing suit.
The Cayo Hueso Cafe.
Okay, let's continue exploring.
Well, there it is. Watch out with the chicken and the car. This is Key West after all. Whoa, the chicken almost. Okay, chickens, be careful. There it is with a brand new coat of paint. The southernmost point. I'm sure you're gonna recognize that landmark here in Key West. That's of course the southernmost point buoy. And the last time we were here, about a month ago, it was destroyed. Well, not destroyed, but the paint was all coming off from the Hurricane Irma. But right now it has a fresh coat of paint and it looks fantastic, as good as ever. Let me show you. This is it, the southernmost point of the continental United States. Let's take the iconic picture with the southernmost point sign here. And off we go. Let's get a drink.
No, go ahead.
A lot of people here wanted to do the same thing.
The marker definitely looks great, freshly repainted.
This is the southernmost hotel or house? One of the two. We've been through here before. Okay, it is the southernmost house. And they have a private function today, so let's see the southernmost beach.
It was from this beach that I made the live video on YouTube that you probably saw.
This is the southernmost beach in Key West. In the United States, actually. No dogs, alcohol.
Here we have Class C in Key West. Let's go to Mallory Square. It's actually getting a little more crowded as night falls. Cruising down Duval Street towards the sunset celebration.
The one thing about being in this low season here in Key West is that for the second time in my life, I've been able to park right here next to El Mesón de Pepe on Mallory Square. Just before sunset. This is fantastic. It's a very...
Okay, the word I'm looking for is maybe mild or lackluster.
Very light sunset celebration here. Usually the whole square is full of performers, you know, doing their thing. And still, 2 months after the hurricane, Key West is still not back to its normal rowdy self. But look at the sunset. Look at that. It's going to be absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, the sunsets here in Key West seldom disappoint. Yeah, a few months ago we took one of these sunset cruises and that was so much fun. I'll put a link to that video. There's a performer, and they are selling all kinds of stuff here at the square. This is also where the cruise ships dock.
You know where we want to go. We want to go there. El trueno de Cayo Hueso. Okay, no longer my favorite place. We were sitting at the bar for 5, 6, 7 minutes. Not even an acknowledgement, not even like, I'll be right with you. No, they were not even that busy.
There's Captain Tony's Saloon, which was the original location of Sloppy Joe's until 1938, when they moved to the current location.
Either we are invisible or there's a real bad service problem here in Key West today, and they shouldn't because they need the business.
Well, after 2 disappointing experiences, we end up at Senor Frog's, where they greeted us like royalty, really. And here we are, in front of Teaser's Gentleman's Club and this other bar.
And the second one, I'm gonna need my friend from Mexico.
While the drinks and the service are outstanding, the quesadillas, weren't all that great. And it was overall overpriced, but hey, we're in Key West, the Conch Republic, Paradise, USA, right? Here's a pretty lively Sloppy Joe's, but we're already getting a little tipsy, you know what I mean? So no, we're not going to do it. And there's the smallest bar in Key West. I think we should go back to our campground. We have an early start tomorrow.
Full moon tonight. Well, we're waking up at the crack of dawn. To go to the Dry Tortugas. We're ready to board the Yankee Freedom. Here, just before sunrise.
7:15 this afternoon. Fix a sun clouds with the call for a 20% chance of slight shower.
And here we are, departing, very excited to finally visit this bucket list destination. But very sad to see all those boats damaged or sunk by Hurricane Irma. Yeah, although life on the island seems back to normal, not everything is. We see some more damaged boats here by Wisteria Island, also known as Christmas Tree Island because of all the casuarina pine trees. And the cruise ship has arrived at Mallory Square, deserted this early in the morning. There is a Sunset Island, by the way, you can also make the trek to the Dry Tortugas by seaplane. And there it goes. We discovered one of the best places to be actually is the bow of the boat. Even if it gets a little bouncy, the ocean breeze is fantastic. Eventually, it gets too choppy and they close down the bow, and we have to either stay inside or sit by the stern, which leads to a little bit of seasickness. Eventually, we get up. We prefer to get a little wet rather than getting seasick, of course. Right here, at the bottom floor by the stern, is where they are bringing all the seasick people because it is much less bouncy back here. But we're getting pretty wet. There's our destination in the distance. There's East Key, the smallest of the islands, and Middle Key, which seasonally disappears during high tide. Finally, Hospital Key. Can you believe they had a hospital there? And the Loggerhead Lighthouse. The Garden Key Lighthouse on Fort Jefferson. Let's begin our tour of the fort by entering through the Sally Port. which was designed so attackers would be trapped by a second door and shot through small windows called loopholes. The granite rails on the floor were designed to guide carriage wheels. Here's a part of the cistern and rainwater collection system. And this is what remains of the soldiers' barracks building, at the foundation. Construction of the barracks was never actually finished because they were continually being damaged by hurricanes. Let's go up one of the spiral staircases, which were constructed with pre-cut granite from Vermont. The narrow steps were designed to limit the number of attackers that would be able to ascend at one time. From the top, we see Bush Key, which sometimes is a peninsula like today, and sometimes it becomes an island, depending on the ocean erosion, This here is the North Beach swimming area, but I was told it was actually too choppy to go snorkeling. Here's a rare 10-inch Parrot rifle, and, by the way, one of the reasons this fort is preserved so well is because it has never actually seen any real battle. Here's a 15-inch Rudman. And that's what's left of the officers' quarters. And the furnace. Let's go back down. The hotshot furnace down there was used to heat up cannonballs so they would be more effective against wooden ships. That was, of course, before the invention of explosive artillery shells. This is the large parade magazine that was never finished either, nor used, designed to keep powder dry and safe, but the design was vulnerable to modern artillery, so they stored the gunpowder elsewhere. Here's a closer look at the hot-shot furnace and the ruins of the officers' quarters.
This was supposed to be the bakery?
Well, according to the soldiers and the prisoners, the food here was awful, really bad. The bread was a mixture of flour, bugs, sticks, and dirt, and the meat was usually rotten. Life must have really sucked here.
Military prison. The dungeon.
The fort also served as a prison during and after the Civil War, and this is one of the areas of the fort where one Dr. Samuel Mudd was imprisoned. He was accused of conspiring to assassinate President Lincoln. This here is the South Beach area, where I'm going to attempt to do some snorkeling.
Well, this side here is called South Beach, and this is the part that he recommended, the guide, because it is very choppy on the other side. The weather is not exactly optimal, and actually a little chilly.
The water is cold. So I'm testing this new mask I got that has a GoPro style camera mount. It's one of these full face masks, the modern style, but it is new, so the inside is getting all fogged. That combined with the low visibility and I cannot see anything. It is supposed to be much better close to the moat wall, but I didn't know that at the time. It is also supposed to be better as well at the North Beach, but as I said, it is too choppy. Okay, I give up. That was an epic fail. By the way, the island is full of hermit crabs.
Well, the beach wasn't great, I must say. Let's go have lunch.
Lunch on the ship consists of tuna salad, sandwiches, potato salad, and cookies. You know, buffet style. You make your own sandwiches. And I was so hungry I forgot to take out the camera. This here to the left is the campground, where you would stay if you chose to spend the night. We walk on top of the moat wall, you know, walking off our lunch. It's a thing. Now we're walking towards Bush Key, also called Hog Key in the past because this is where they used to raise hogs to feed the prisoners. And take a look at the color on that water. Amazing.
North Beach. Hey, here we go.
Yeah, that was nothing. Eventually a large wave came and we got soaked. That bird looks kind of like a pterodactyl, doesn't it? Don't worry, I'm not gonna say fly, pelican. Oh, I did. Look how choppy it is on this side of the island.
Okay, we just got soaked. Okay, we're getting soaked. Let's get out of here. Whoa, I think the high tide is coming. The camera got wet too. It's very disorganized.
It is almost time to depart from Fort Jefferson here on a 2.5-hour ride back to Key West. Structural damage, perhaps?
Well, that
was Fort Jefferson and the Dry Tortugas National Park here. We're heading back to the boat because I believe the bar, alcohol is open. So after such an strenuous day here hiking and swimming, anyways, let's go to the boat. Well, salud.
We spend our last moments here in the Dry Tortugas, hanging out on the bow of the boat, sipping cheap wine with this marvelous view. And the seaplane is back. Doesn't he look like Riley from Sailing La Vagabond? If you think I'm obsessed with that plane, you're probably right. I love planes, particularly seaplanes. Actually, I love all modes of transportation, really, but I would have loved being a pilot. Perhaps there's still time. It's never too late. Off we go. On the way back, we discovered that the wine is much better than Dramamine for seasickness. Maybe that's why sailors have a reputation, that stereotype of being drunks. The top half of the cruise ship can already be seen on the horizon. Proof that the Earth is round. And the cruise ship is departing, as usual, right before the sunset celebrations. And there goes one of the sunset cruises. Once on land, we decided to pass by Dante's. This place was really wild the last time we were here, back on May of 2017. It is a little more mellow today, but still a bit of a party atmosphere. Bachelorette party, perhaps? Oh, there's another cool looking plane, an old DC-3, I believe. We want to go to this place called the Waterfront Brewery. and then go watch the sunset afterwards.
Hour 46, nos quedan 10 minutes.
Well, here we are. I am having a lazy way IPA and Ely is having a crazy lady. Just what I needed. We ordered a fried shrimp appetizer, very good, and the catch of the day, which is golden tilefish. Let's go find some place to see the sunset. We are not gonna make it to Mallory Square on time, I don't think.
I don't think we're gonna make it to Mallory Square by sunset time, but we're gonna try.
Another party. And one of these days, we are going to come here, the Conch Republic Seafood Company. It is such a lively area around here. So many restaurants. Well, yeah, we missed the sunset. We're here by the Galleon Resort and look at all the boats on the breakwater. There's also a Hyatt here next door. The resort has its own sunset tiki bar and grill. One thing I love about Key West is that there is live music pretty much everywhere. We are now by Mallory Square, and El Mesón de Pepe is happening. The sunset celebration has died down, though. Let me tell you, Key West is slowly getting back to being the party town that we love so much.
This is Pepe's. It's the oldest, from 1909.
Nightcap? We have one last mojito at the small bar here at Pepe's. I have some mussels and Ely is having some stone crabs.
Well, I think that was a fitting end to our Key West weekend escapade here. Pepe's place is actually better than the other Pepe's. Let's go back to the campground. See you tomorrow.
Good morning from Boyd's Key West Campground, actually located on Stock Island.
chicken cross the road. It is 10 time. Tiene the trailer. Oh, we got some stickers, this time from Chris and Sherry of Technomania. And their sticker says serendipity, and it's like a play on the dip sign that you see on the roads sometimes. And I ordered one, but they sent me 6, so maybe I'll give some of them away. And I do believe that the proceeds from the sales go to some kinds of charity that is doing recovery here in the Florida Keys. So that's why I bought it. And here we are. I'm gonna stick it right here on the top of the Florida Keys. There's a bee flying around me. There we go, to more serendipitous travel in the future. All good things come to an end.
Well, it is with a heavy heart that we depart from this fabulous campsite. Key West, see you soon. If you have enjoyed traveling with us, make sure you are subscribed and check out my other videos. Also, share it with your friends, spread the word, and leave me a comment. Now, if you really liked it, you have a chance to show your support at patreon.com/travelingrobert. As always, thank you so much for watching and see you on the road.